Record on this computer. That's right. We're capturing all of this now, Madeline. Okay. So just calm down with that language, that colorful language you've been experimenting with.
We're recording now, Madeline. So let's just try to keep some of that to a minimum if you can.
PG-13 at least.
By what you just said.
Everything I say has to be colorful because I'm a designer. Everything about my life has to be colorful. It's just kind of required.
She says that she wears a black shirt.
Yeah, I'm seeing actually a lot of muted tones, So really quick, before we get started, we're going to do our new segment that we have been practicing for Ask Todd every week. And we're going to get the Madeline read on the week. So Madeline's going to give us her read on how the week's been. And then, hopefully that's something that excites people, that people get really into. So Madeline, take it away, whatever you prepared ahead of time.
I've prepared, so I spent all day preparing for this exact moment. So I'm super ready. So this
Excellent.
week has been a week. It definitely did happen. And I did exist during that week, as did many of us on this call. I can't confirm, but definitely I existed during this week. And it really was a week.
And there you have it, the Madeline read of the week. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Madeline. A great intro into today's show.
Thrilling stuff.
Really, really, really good stuff. I think that was absolutely excellent. And we already have a question for you, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Todd. You've died and are resurrected as the deity of minor inconveniences. How do you curse those who have committed grave offenses, like not picking up after their dogs?
Great question, Alice. And I'm not even sure how you knew that how that had happened. That's really weird. Actually, I don't know. Would you call a demigod a deity? I don't know. But sure, let's go with it for now. So you didn't want to assume. So it's not about cursing for me. That's not how I operate. I think I've said a lot of times in this channel that I'm a pacifist, and really I'm about operant conditioning. I'm not a negative conditioner. If I were I'm like a Pantene Pro V. You know what I mean? A very positive conditioner. And so I like to think that what I bring to the table is a way to help people become better. And it's not always about cursing someone to an eternity of pain and struggling. Sometimes it's about correcting and rehabilitating and sending them back out to give it another go. You know what I mean? As a deity, I've been looking in a lot of Eastern religions, and they do this whole cyclical thing. It's very fun. It's very cool. And so I've just been kind of experimenting with that myself. Hey, instead of a one and done, let's give it a second shot. And it's been pretty cool so far, By the way, my god name is Pantene Pro V, in case you didn't know. So anyway, I've just kind of been basically people who don't pick up after their dogs, they die, they meet me, and I go hey, it'd be better if you did that,
if you hadn't died, and if you pick up after your dogs. Yeah. And
then I go if you would have done that, I'd have given you a cookie, actually. And they're well, what kind of cookie? And I'm what's your favorite kind? And they're always going to say something like Snickerdudes, snack daddies, which are just names I have for snickerdoodles. And and then I've been I'd have given you a snickerdoodle. You would have had a snogdoggle in your mouth right now.
Yep.
If you just would have picked up after your dog. So anyway, usually then I send them back into the world, and I say just do better next time. And I haven't gotten anyone back from the second one yet, because it's just a new thing for me. Judging people for their lives and then deciding their fate is new for me. But I think so far it's going pretty well.
You've taken to it really
question,
quickly.
Alice.
Yeah, it is a great question. You've really taken to it. I feel like it's a real area of strength for you.
I appreciate that. And I think that part of that is because, I've always been judging people. I just hadn't
Right.
done it with technical authority before. It had
Yeah.
just been me just sort of saying like, hey, you could be better at that. And then, and then the train conductor going like, how did you get into the cabin?
Totally.
And so now it's like, I actually have kind of that power, and that's nice because there isn't security guards grabbing my arms and pulling me back, while I'm like kicking and screaming and saying like, you're not my real father and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice actually.
On the subject, we have two questions that are still on the subject.
Oh.
Casey wants to know, are you a golden god?
Golden god, right. This is one of my doppelgangers, living doppelgangers. Why can't I think of his name? Dennis.
Glenn
Who plays
Howerton.
Dennis? Glenn Howerton.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw a
in
picture of him in the chat.
Sure. In his role as Dennis, he calls himself a golden god. And honestly, like, that's not for me to say. Like, I'm not
Right.
going to tell you guys, like, that's what I am. That's how I look. That's the energy I exude. I'm not here to say that. That's for you guys to say, Casey. So if you want to say, like, Todd, you're a golden god, that's fine. It's going to rhyme, which is nice. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It'll rhyme to say Todd, golden god. That's half of a limerick right there.
Also, Madeline wants to know, have you met people who purposely didn't pick up their dog's poop just so they could meet you?
That is a great question. You know what? I think people have been too shy to admit it. I think they probably have.
Yeah.
I think there are probably people, well, and here's the thing, like, a lot of people don't realize that's what's going to happen. Because like part of the thing about like life and death is like, you're not supposed to know what's going to happen. You kind of have to like just choose a belief and go with it, and then whatever happens. And so they don't really know, I don't think, but they might suspect, but I will say this, I really want to like actually bring this up, that ever since COVID-19 has been a thing, the amount of canine fecal matter on sidewalks has skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Like it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people are just like, oh, this is not something that matters anymore. It's the end of the world. And it does still matter.
Mm-hmm. I can tell you're fired up about it a little bit. Yeah. Are you going to be, do we need to take a beat here, or like, are you going to be okay? It's an important topic.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna, let's just keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
So just, I know him well enough to know his triggers, and sort of, I can tell from his body language. Let's try to move past questions about dog fecal matter if we can. I just don't see this taking us down a path that's conducive to the show being a good episode. So thank you for those questions, and they were good questions. But let's change the tone a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Cat poop. Can we talk about?
Great question.
What about?
We can absolutely talk about cat poop. And by the way, I just want to say also, it looks like we have I think we have a few people in here who don't maybe join all the time. And we want to let you guys know, be sure you can throw questions in the chat.
Yes.
We'll get to those and everything. But cat poop, let's talk about cat poop for a second. So I'm just going to scoop up this one real quick here. 1 second.
Not a piece of poop, I'm hoping you're going to.
No, not a piece of poop.
Yeah. Good, okay, yeah.
This is, in here is a piece of future cat poop in this right here. And what I like about that, though, is she always puts it in the same place. And, oh, look at that. Alice brought up Mr. Sushi. You want to meet Mr. Sush?
Oh, let's I like this. Let's see all these cats. I'm happy.
Yeah, everyone put your cats up. Everyone put your cats up.
Yes, Madeline, I can see yours, yeah. Future cat poop is Addie's band name. Yeah, I like that.
What I like is that she's always puts it in her litter box, and she says, and then I can scoop it up for her, and no one has to step on it. You know what I mean? That's kind of nice.
That is
He's hitting
nice.
me in the
Yeah.
face with their tail.
How is Addie these days? Let's give us a quick progress report on her.
Yeah, here's a quick update. She's doing pretty well.
Okay.
She has, I don't know. I think she's been. I think she's been a little stressed with, you know, some of the stuff going on in the world right now. I think it's given her a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah.
If I can be totally honest with you, and I'm not someone who projects or anything like that. So I don't want you to assume that I'm talking about myself. 'Cause
Right.
I'm not. I'm fine. I've never been better.
You look fine. You seem fine.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a couple questions on cats that just kind of popped up in the chat. We got a couple good ones here. Nick Morrill wants to know, are cats really that much smarter than dogs?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let me just say that I've met some very smart dogs, and I've met some very dumb cats. And I think that when people generalize things, you know, I don't know. I always think you're getting into trouble whenever you generalize.
Sure.
And you could, I mean, some people would say humans are smarter than any other animal. But then I can tell you a couple bottlenose dolphins who will be like, huh?
Yeah, like they'll be like, huh? Like, I don't speak English. Can you say that in a language I'd understand?
Yeah. They go, what?
Yeah.
They go like, you know.
Right. Right.
And I think the point I'm getting at is that, like, you know, I think that cats are very smart, intuitive. I think they also have some qualities that dogs don't have, but I think vice versa also. I don't want to start a war between cats and dogs. That's not my deal. You know, I've got bigger problems than trying to Don King some sort of war between cats and dogs.
Well, then this next question might be a bit of a problem for you because it may fuel this fire that you're trying to extinguish. But KR wants to know, speaking of cats, do you judge those that are exclusively dog people, even if we have a severe allergy to cats or have been wronged by cats in the past?
I do not. I think, like, honestly, to each their own and stuff. I think especially being a cat person, I'm so ostracized by, I don't know, 80% of the people I meet. You know, they all think that I'm the insane person, and I don't think it makes me insane that I like that my cat shits in a box. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it makes a lot of sense, actually. Point is, I don't think that we need to have these wars between two types of people. We're all people. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
We're
I mean, I know the show's Ask Todd, it's not Ask Tyler, but my take on this as a dog owner has always been, you know, dog owner, cat lover, bird lover, you know, fish owner. Let's set aside our differences. Let's not hate each other for the different animals we own. Let's join together, maybe even a novel idea, as a group and be actively together as a community against the lizard owning people of the world. Because we all know deep down in our hearts that's, you know, there's something weird about that. Having lizards is a bit weird.
That's a great point.
That's always been my take on it. Yeah.
When I say we're all people, I mean people who like cats and people who like dogs. We're all people.
Right.
I don't mean people who like birds or something like that, or you know, whatever.
You know, Thea's saying she's offended, but she's also saying in the same sentence that she's a former lizard owner. So that says something to me about, you know, I mean.
Well, why don't you? Do you want to unmute and tell us?
Yeah, let's get Thea on the show. Thea, can you hop in for a second and tell us a little bit about?
Hi. I am a former lizard owner. I've had two lizards in my life. I had a green anole when I was in high school, and I had a bearded dragon a couple of years ago, and I had to give her up because I moved to California, so I wasn't able to bring her with me.
Is that in your background right now? Which lizard is that?
Yeah, you say that's a lizard as well.
This is my dog.
Oh, so you're a dog person.
Right. See,
yes. I'm an all animal person. Okay. I started out as a horse person, and then I became a cat person, and then a lizard person, a fish person, and now a dog person.
Okay. Okay,
That's
so when
yeah,
I say,
okay.
I guess when we're talking about lizard people, we're not talking about people who are just undecided in general in life. We're talking about
Right.
people who are committed to lizards.
Yeah.
Okay. So like the
Yeah.
people with multiple terrariums with like multiple different lizards and they're breeding them and whatnot. Got it.
Yeah, someone who like if I said like, oh, did you guys catch that new movie on Netflix? And then someone said like, oh, did you know my lizard can change colors? And I was like, I'm sorry, why are you bringing your lizard into every conversation? That's a different person. You know what I mean?
Right. Or even like, dare I say it, Todd, someone who just for the sake of argument would have a lizard as their background, versus what I see as a very healthy dog background, a healthy, normal, adjusted kind of take on the kind of background you should have.
And I also want to bring up though that Patricia's background is making me feel very cozy right now.
Yes, it's nice. I can feel the fire blazing from here.
I'm very excited for Christmas. I can smell the smoke actually. Oh wait, is that? Oh, that's Oxnard.
Yeah, that's just that all of California, I think actually.
Okay.
Nick had a question that I do think we should touch on because it's easy to get lizard people mixed up with lizard people. So what Nick we're just wanting us to clarify really quickly, when talking about lizard people, are you referring to the Illuminati? I think that's something we've been wondering for a while, Todd.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it reminds me of the screenplay I wrote, for a movie called Illuminati. And then naughty was spelled like, you're being naughty. And, and it was all about, a member of the Illuminati who thought that, there was a conspiracy against him. And it was just some neighborhood kids that were pulling pranks. They were just being naughty. And it's just sort of like a fun way to turn paranoia on the instigators of paranoia.
Right.
And so, of course, the answer, if you didn't get the answer from that somehow, Nick, is yes, I was referring to the Illuminati.
He was referring to that. And also, I just want to add really quickly that that's real. What Todd just said is real. When we first started collaborating together and writing YouTube skits, that was his first skit idea that he pitched to me, was an Illuminati guy who's really paranoid about the neighborhood kids and their conspiracy against him. It's one of my favorite skit ideas you've ever come up with. It's such a funny idea.
I feel like I would be like way smarter if I had just come up with that off the top of my head, but I didn't. Yeah.
I think you should still give yourself credit because I remember coming home and telling Casey about that idea because I thought it was so funny.
Oh, that's so fun. I love that.
Yeah. Really great questions today so far, everyone. I'm really loving, I don't know what's in the air today. I mean, I know that it's ash and debris and fire and flames, but other than that,
mostly ash.
Yeah, mostly ash. But beyond that, there's something else in the air, positive, that seems to be fueling a lot of great questions.
COVID-19, I think.
Something, yeah. I'm glad Todd cares about the earth and environmentalism. You can tell by the way he recycles pen. That's a good one. I like that one.
Nick?
Todd's not.
All right. Why don't you turn on your camera and send it to my face?
I thought it was a good joke. I
laughed.
It would have been a great joke if you hadn't used it a week ago. I thought it was a really good joke, actually, and I'm very upset that you thought of it and I didn't. So there.
Todd, I appreciate it. Hey, I'm in the friend's living room.
I was gonna say you're in the friend's house. Is this wait? This is a remodel of the friend's living room.
I rearranged the furniture a little bit.
Right.
I don't think it's really true to life, but
one of the things I really like about the friend's living room is how minimal it is. It's just not busy or distracting in any way. It's just like a nice, simple. It's got to be like Japanese influenced or something, but I like their take on it just being a simple, unadorned kind of room.
It was
really nice
how affordable it was for these unemployed people to live in this giant 2-bedroom apartment in the middle of. Yeah. It's really nice. But hi.
Good to see you, Nick.
Yeah, it's great to see you, Nick. Looks like you're getting a little shaggy there, and I love it, man. Keep it up.
A little too shaggy. Camera off.
There. Do we have any other questions coming in here? Alice asked a question, but she's gone now. She had to go to another meeting. She was asking about ferrets. I think she was asking if they exist, probably, and they don't. So that's that question.
Not to my knowledge.
We got Richard Anderson in here now. Richard, turn on your computer, turn on your camera. Let's see that face. Let's see what's going on with you right now, real time.
Okay, give me like a few minutes, man. I gotta change.
Minutes? A few minutes?
Just put a shirt on. Just put a shirt on.
We literally have 9 minutes.
1 second. Mom.
Mom? Richard, are you staying with your mom?
I just like to make that. I'm coming.
Oh, he's down the hall.
Yeah, you're gonna need to take your head out of the aquarium there. We can't. Okay, much better.
There he is. Oh, you shaved your head.
I had to, man. It was getting really hot.
Well, okay, but why do you say you had to? Do you mean that someone made you do it, or were you just warm?
Well, PMs are getting mad at me for taking too long to do things, and I was pretty much distracted with trying to keep my head cool. So the only solution I could think of was just go to the backyard and get the dog clippers and just kind of just go through all of it.
I just want to sum this up for anyone who's just tuning in. Richard was he felt he wasn't performing at his job well, and people were complaining that it took him too long to finish tasks, and so he decided that the only way to solve that was to shave his head. Which makes tons of sense.
Yeah, it's like you're like the anti-Samson. It's like you're more powerful if you don't have hair.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, is this the last Ask Todd episode or?
No, I think we're gonna have I think we'll probably have 6 or 7 more of these. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Has anyone asked you any questions yet, or have they been waiting for me?
They've been waiting for you.
Yeah, so there's 7 minutes left in the show, and it's kind of funny because hold on, now I have to ask this question of you, Richard. Did you shave your head just now because it took you absolutely forever to get on the show?
No, I shaved it yesterday, but I'll show you guys where I did it. I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you guys.
So while you're doing that, my question is, how did it speed you up if you're still getting to things incredibly late?
Yeah. It's a theory right now, so we'll know for sure by Monday with analytics and Workfront and Jira, based off estimations and how bad I'm doing it. But yeah, there it is. There's my hair.
Dude, clean it up.
It's for the birds, man. You never know, man.
They're not
One day a
build
baby
nest out of
bird's
your
gonna
hair.
come out and be like, "Hey, thanks, Richard. Mama bird building nests out of your hair. I appreciate it." I'll be like, "Don't worry about it, man. Have a good day."
Talk about being environmentally conscious. I can get behind this. I like this.
My head looks kind of funny now, damn.
So other than shaving your head, what are some other ways we can beat the heat this weekend, Todd?
Yeah, that's a great question. We did get we got a question in the old Ask Todd. It was I think the third time someone had asked that question in the channel, and I gave some advice from the notes that I had previously compiled back in 2018. You might have seen the answer that I gave, which was basically revolved around stuff like going to the movie theaters and going to water parks and traveling to somewhere exotic and cool. And
all things you can do right now really easily. These are all really helpful hints right now.
I realize in retrospect some of them might be a little bit difficult to do at the moment. So I want to say maybe go to a public pool. I think that's something that just anyone can do, and invite the neighbors, and go play some Marco Polo, or some what are the other games that you play in the pool?
I have trouble picturing you in a public pool, period, if I'm being completely
Well, there's a reason, because when you tried to take pictures of me in a public pool for an entire year, I had that restraining order. And that's why you can't picture me in a public pool, is because you're legally not allowed to do it anymore.
Right. And the drawings I tried to create to sort of recreate those moments were less than, we'll say, just less than good.
Yeah, I know you mailed them to me. I remember.
Thea wants to know, how do you avoid COVID in a public pool, which I think is actually a great question. One of the better questions that's been asked today, really. Yeah.
You can't. I mean, there isn't a way you can be sure. I think right now, at this point, you're basically deciding, like, do I want to be uncomfortably warm, or, do I want to die from a disease? And this is America. So you can do whatever you want to do. Okay.
Right. Rock, flag, and eagle.
But rock, flag, and eagle. Do what you want to do. America, Bruce Springsteen. Don't tread on me, but maybe stay inside. You could also buy an air conditioning unit also if you didn't want to deal with the whole, death stuff, which, you'll have to deal with it eventually. I'm not telling you, you're never going to have to deal with it. You're just putting it off right now. But if you're going to procrastinate something, I say procrastinate death, and you can quote me on that. I don't even care. So,
and when that inevitably occurs, you may be lucky enough to find yourself right at the feet of this gentleman right here, as he tells you a couple of things you could have done slightly differently, and the snack daddies and snickerdoodles you would have gotten as a reward for those things,
And I also want to direct people. Well, no, I don't want to do that. Never mind. I was just gonna there was okay. So at one point in the Up for Grabs channel, someone posted a picture of some snickerdoodles, and I asked, "Are those snickerdoodles?" And they didn't answer me. And so for the next 3 weeks, every day I posted repeatedly calling snickerdoodles a different thing every day for 3 weeks. And if you go back in the archives of Up for Grabs, you can kind of just see the insane rant that I went on. But anyway, it was like a year or two ago. So you're not going to do that.
But if you wanted to, you could. That would be a good use of anyone's time.
Yeah. Wait,
we'll try to make that available to everybody.
Actually, wait, I'll do it right now real quick because I just have to search Up for Grabs, SP Up for Grabs. There it is. Okay, here it is. July 1st.
Erica's already on it, actually. She found it.
June 18th. Oh, wow, that was fast. Yeah, June 18th. And anyway, you can enjoy that if you want. It was just basically me talking to myself for like 3 weeks.
Which is essentially what this entire show is, for the most part. Yeah.
Right.
Well, we've got a couple more minutes, so listen. Use the time wisely. I'm sure you have. Listen, here's the thing. I'm afraid that you're going to go into the weekend and you're going to have a question and you're going to realize that you didn't ask it today, and I don't want you to do that. Todd doesn't want you to do that. So please, before the weekend starts, get these questions out. You'll have a much more relaxing time if you just ask it now.
So true. It's a great point, Tyler.
Also, Todd's fee is, I wouldn't say it's exorbitant. It's nominal at best, but it does exist. And over the weekends, the rates do increase. And really, it's not even Todd. We learned, Casey and I learned the other day, we called his number, and he has like an outside service he uses to answer your questions during the weekends.
Oh, wait.
I'm just out of the way.
Wait, did anyone else lose Tyler's audio, or was that just me? Everyone did. Okay, good. You're going in and out, man. That actually happened to me in another meeting, and it was just me, so I had to make sure. But yeah, it is very expensive. When is season 2 of Tyler and Todd YouTube show? Man, we got to work on your grammar, Richard. So season 2 of How to Make It in Music, I'm hoping is coming soon. Tyler and I have been talking about getting back into it. It's been a little bit difficult. And thanks, Madeline. Have a good one. And being able to film right now, it's just been a little tough since we haven't been able to be in close quarters, and I don't really trust Tyler to be free of diseases, so bloodborne or otherwise. Thanks, Kaki. Yeah. Oh, we saw the bearded dragon. Oh yeah, there's the bearded dragon. Look at that. Okay, man, that little boy
embrace
could use a shave.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that people are starting to jump in. I get it. We're at the end of the time and people have meetings to get to. I just want to say thanks everyone for showing up. This is a ton of fun for us. I love being able to help. It's not a series finale, Richard. Stop saying that.
It's not the end of the show. Stop saying it's the end of the show. It's not the end of the show.
Yeah. So stop trying to push for that also. Stop.
Stop trying to. Yeah. And in fact, anyone who wants to take Todd's place once he leaves, hit me up. We're still auditioning open positions. Happy to chat with you. But I'll tell you, the number one thing you can do wrong during the audition process is come in and ask a bunch of questions. Because guess what I'm looking for? I'm not looking for someone who's going to ask a bunch of questions, right? We're looking for someone who's going to, answer the question. So,
all right. Hey, thanks everyone for coming. Have a great weekend and stay out of trouble.